Well, welcome back to my old house in Preston, Maryland. Today is Monday, Labor Day, September the 4th, 2023, and this is what 25 tons of gravel looks like. I was lucky in the sense that the hardware store down the street said it wouldn't be here for a week or two, and a fellow came down with his boss, and his boss diverted a tractor trailer full of 25 tons of number 57 3/4 inch stone to my driveway. Clarence was the driver, and he did a good job, but because of the overhead wires, he had to back the trailer all the way to the rear of the driveway and unload. So I had two piles a little bit bigger than that, and I was able to not only distribute that via wheelbarrow, but wouldn't you know, a retired state highway worker who was driving by, he had a small tractor with a loader bucket on it, and he offered just to help me spread the gravel out on the driveway, which saved me probably a day's worth of labor. And he wanted nothing for his effort, and I thought that was tremendously kind, but that's what it's like here in Preston, Maryland, people helping people. So I do have his name. He lives in Federalsburg, actually, which is about 8 miles down the road. And so it was tremendous help for him to offer to do that for me. Nice fellow. And I hope to cross paths again with him, and I can return the favor somehow. In any event, as you can see, I didn't quite use all of the gravel. I was counting on 20 to 22 tons, but the truck was full with 25, so I took the whole lot. They gave me a break on the price. And even though it's the neighborhood hardware store, their price is about $10 less per ton than some of the other locations and vendors in the area. And again, this was diverted, on the same day to my driveway, which was tremendous help, because this is a big chore that's now out of the way. And since I had plenty of extra time, thanks to Dale with the little tractor and bucket, I was able to work on a couple of things. We're in the midst of about 8 days of no rain, so a lot of outside work was being done. And before I close this up completely, this is where my water line is. I've partly filled it back in, but I needed to apply another coat of hydraulic cement because I was getting a little leak in the sleeve through the block wall. Just a drip, but I just wanted to see if I could cut that off by putting another layer of hydraulic cement where the pipe goes through the sleeve, and hopefully I've got that squared away. On the right there you see a clean out for the sewer, and if you can see down in the hole that there is the branch from the horizontal run of the sewer pipe. So anyway, this will get filled up today. I also installed the window well to match the one over here. I had a leak, a constant leak here whenever it rained, and I was observing it in the rain and noticed that because of the grade of the soil, the downpour would wash over the concrete into the sill of the window and under the window and down the open cells of the concrete block. So I think that is the cause of the continuing leak in the basement at that wall and the floor, because it only leaks at the bottom of the wall and the floor joint. So I think I've got that figured out, and maybe tomorrow or sometime this week I will reframe the window, again use some hydraulic cement to plug up the top of the cells so no water can go down inside, and hopefully that'll take care of that. Having dug all of this out, I needed to dig some more. You see a piece of PVC conduit here going to my meter box, and that contains two large capacity wires, actually two cables. And what those cables are for is to provide power to my old garage from a new circuit breaker in that box. And also you see this coil of wire here. This is going to go out to the pole building, which is too many feet away for me to dig by hand. So I'm going to rent a trencher because it's got to be down about 2 feet, and then I will pick it up from here. But as I say, because the weather was conducive to outdoors, although it's brutally hot today and humid, you can see where my trench went to the old garage building, and likewise I've installed a piece of conduit that houses a cable, which you see poking out there. I've left it a little long here, and I've also not filled in the opening down at the bottom so that I can take out the conduit, snake the wire out of the conduit, cut the conduit to length, and then put it back in the ground and then backfill. So that was 2 days worth of work, maybe 3, because I had to trench all by hand, and that trench went from there to here, and of course the 2 cables come to this point, and then one is now this coil for the pole building, which is many feet away, and the other cable goes along that trench which I have backfilled to the garage, and you see it again hanging out of the conduit there. So all of that was done and filled, and as I was able to fill that trench in, I then graded this area next to the porch and put down the weed block cloth and covered it with several inches of gravel. So in this space here, here the grade has been restored. Again, that trench went along there, and the trench went here, and the trench went here and to the elbow at the bottom of the conduit. And so this grade has been restored. So the only area I have left to backfill is this little bit here, where I kept it open so I could do the hydraulic cement on the water pipe through the sleeve. And I'll get that done before the end of the day today. And then I'm going to put down a weed block cloth in this entire area here. And then I'm going to get some pine bark nuggets as mulch for this, and hope to call it a day for that. You know, I seem to have controlled the water at this window. I'm hoping that my observation and theory is correct here, so I can rest assured that I'll have controlled the water here. And as I say, I'll put in the mulch, and that'll be it. Now when I go to demolish the shingles here, I'll cover this entire area with a huge tarp. I've got several tarps that are 20 feet by 30 feet, and so I'll lay them out here in the driveway, so as I do the shingles and the nails and so forth, I won't have to worry about picking them out of the mulch. So in the future, once I get this backfilled here and get the cable and the conduit in the correct position and through the building and wired into the panel inside the old garage, then I will continue to level off this bit of grade right here and take this, put down weed cloth and take the gravel probably all the way over to that concrete walkway. And this little section here, likewise pull up the vegetation and weed block cloth, and then the pine bark mulch. So that's it for now. Quite a lot of work got done, and I still have gravel left over. My neighbor wants a wheelbarrow. That's not a problem. So everybody is very cooperative and friendly here in Mayberry, or Preston. And so that's it. I've got some left over for some future projects, which is good. And I'm going to take tomorrow off and do errands. so I got a bunch of half a dozen stops to make tomorrow. But there's the driveway from the rear, and I think it turned out quite well. And again, the weed block is underneath all of this gravel, and this driveway is about 20 feet wide and 80 feet long to the garage, and I've got several inches of gravel down, so I don't anticipate much trouble with weeds, and if I get a little bit, then that's what Roundup is for, to take care of them. So that's it for now. We'll see you in the next video.